Alright, hey, what's up, guys? I've had this for a while and haven't edited it because I wanted to make sure everyone was on board still first. But me and my brother and a friend, Zach, are starting up a podcast. I still haven't bothered to make sure everyone's still on board. I know Zach is, but I haven't asked my brother recently. I need to make sure he's on board still. But this is our podcast, and the audio quality on this one, specifically for me and my brother, isn't that great because we were both in the same room with the same mic, and it was stupid. But it's not going to be like that in future episodes, which we haven't recorded yet. So if this is still a thing after this episode, hooray, and it'll get better. But if not, then oops. Oh well. Enjoy this one at least. Tell me if you guys enjoy it, and I'll make sure everyone stays on board and we'll keep doing it. Even if my brother drops out, I'm sure I can find someone. Anyways, let the footage roll. Okay. Devin, you got our intro?
Oh shit.
Oh man, welcome to whatever podcast that this ends up being. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
we
fun
haven't
time.
decided on a name yet.
To be dubbed over later.
No.
No, we're not doing that.
In fact, part of the plan, or at least part of my plan, was to come up with an idea for the name while we record the first episode. And actually, let's see, what time is it in my recording?
It is 11:26 now.
Well, I was
That's your time.
I said in my recording, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
that works.
I'm looking for a stopping time.
12?
At 37 minutes in my recording.
Sure.
We'll do a half-hour episode for the first one.
Sounds good to me.
If we decide we like it longer or shorter than that, we can change as we choose.
So we're rolling right now, right?
Yeah, we're rolling. Well, I mean,
Cool.
We've been rolling, but
Yeah, I was pretty sure.
we're rolling.
People will get used to it.
Just mundane chat about what's going on.
Oh yeah, you're gonna tell all our friends that we're recording our first episode of our
Why don't you
podcast?
describe what we're going to do this about.
Not actively.
So I'm not totally into what we've heard.
Okay, so we've decided our podcast is going to be about creating worlds.
Lore development and stuff.
Yeah, like world development and fleshing out a world quickly.
Video games, books, etc.
Yeah. This first episode, we're gonna make like a hub world, like Chronicles of Narnia style, sort of, where you just appear in this forest and there are pools all over the place, and you jump into one pool and it takes you to a world, and you come back and jump in another, it takes you somewhere
You guys
else.
already finished this one.
Not
was
really,
actually-
because that's Narnia, Devin.
Oh,
was
You
also
can't
kind of-
use that idea.
I guess I haven't read that much of Narnia. I've only seen
I was also kind of thinking that
That's
we
the
could
first
have.
book, Devin.
Yeah, we
What?
could have. We can have a for our hub world. We can accept that as non-fiction or whatever for the canon of the story, and then us making up things can be the fiction of the world. Whatever.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means,
I
Zach.
don't either. You lost me. I don't know.
So basically, the worlds that we create aren't actually tangible places in the first place, except for this first one that we make as the hub world.
So you want to make a hub world to jump to our other worlds we make in future podcasts?
Except none of them are real, apparently, which is what Zach
So
said.
they're all,
I don't know.
all of our future worlds will and forever be just digital spaces you can warp to via this first world. So already we're in a futuristic setting. Very
So
futuristic, in fact.
So we're going sci-fi. That works.
Okay, so
At
the
least
hub
for the
world
hub
is
world.
like this like this utopia land where society and oh god, it's like heaven in that one show. Society and electronics and everything have advanced so far that no one lives anymore. Everyone's connected constantly into a VR world of their own. Is that what our hub world is?
Sure.
Because
It could
that
be
sounds
like
interesting.
games, like video games or something.
So this sounds almost exactly like a not religious version of the ending to an episode of American Dad. I don't. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen that episode. I doubt me or Zach has. Well, that's okay because it was kind of. Oh shit! You know what? We never gave our names at the beginning. That's fine.
Their names.
They don't. We'll sign off with those. They don't. Yeah, we'll sign off with their names. The mystery can wait until it's over. I'm gonna turn off notifications. Ew. That was a weird noise. I know. I'm gonna turn off all my fucking notifications because that's gonna be bad. All right. Back to this. Would everyone have their own little room, or would I don't know? That would make more sense than anything else, I guess. Imagine our society, but like way in the future, and everyone is giving up on actually living, and that's it. Oh God! I just remember there's an what? There's an episode of Adventure Time exactly like what we're describing. There's an episode of a lot of things exactly like this. Pretty much. That's why it's a common. It's a thing that I jumped to because I've heard it before. That's okay. In fact, the idea came to me from a book I read once. So what's different about ours? Probably not a lot. Pardon it. It's like it's using headphones. It was kind of loud. Welcome to 30 minutes of idiots laughing like morons. That's a terrible name for a podcast. Besides, it's mostly you laughing. I'm an idiot laughing like a moron.
Same thing, as far as we're concerned.
We can't be quiet for too long, guys. Well, yeah, this is the bit that gets edited out. There's a reason that I'm recording. It's okay.
Yeah, so more about this world, this sci-fi and stuff.
What? What about the world of sci-fi?
I don't know. That's what we were going with, right?
Yeah.
As the hub world.
I guess, yeah. So in our sci-fi hub world, our hub world is exactly like our world. So everything looks like just no. Well, I was just saying that because our world is a place where you can go and read a book, watch a movie, play a game.
Yeah, except everyone had an HTC Vive.
Except everyone has an HTC Vive. That's the difference.
Like
except they're probably actually big machines that look like tanning booths at this point. An omnidirectional treadmill. Oh, an HTC Vive strapped onto their faces. Well, that would be an invention and in and of itself. An omnidirectional treadmill. Yeah, that's how they usually do VR that you can actually interact with. Like it's not a new concept. Well, I know, but like I don't know. I don't know. But what do we want to flesh out about this world? Do we want to flesh out some people? Like, would there be class of people who actually don't do it? Or would it all be? Would it be upper class people who live in the real world and actually enjoy things, or would it be the lower class people that can't afford to have their own living space and have to come in and bathe these sweaty people running around on omnidirectional treadmills.
How about the wealthy don't use the treadmills as much as the unwealthy, because the unwealthy have boring lives, so they just have to substitute it with falsehoods.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
we're the rich
So these
folks
machines
that
aren't
make
super
things.
expensive. It's kind of an old technology. It's become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rich have like I was talking about, more like a tanning booth type thing. You sit in, lay down, turn
I'm
on,
getting flashbacks.
and you're in your headset. I mean, you're in your VR world or whatever.
Yeah.
How about
Less sweaty that way,
Less sweaty. But yeah, I'm
and also
getting,
less work.
yeah,
how
It's
about we
gonna
have
atrophy and slowly die.
but less of that thing where you experience it better.
Not if
Immersion.
it connects directly to your brain
Unless
and
it
stuff.
does a SAO thing with the brain caps.
The
Yeah.
brain caps.
Yeah, brain caps.
Whoa.
or we could do like Dr. Octopus from whatever Spider-Man 2
See what I mean?
and give him arms, so just
There's
a bunch
no
of
way
arms.
we'll ever be able to make money off of this.
We're not trying to make money. Well,
I know, I'm being
it would be
sarcastic.
nice, but we're not going to.
Whoa, ad revenue.
Whoa. Piss mid-roll right here. It's actually been like 10 minutes. Congratulations.
Isn't so long.
No, it's not.
Especially when you're having fun.
Do we have a name for this world besides Earth?
Um,
Because this isn't really the direction
I
Earth is
kind of want
heading.
to call it a dystopia of some sort, but like hide it in the name.
It sort of is.
Dystrophia?
No.
No, it's really simple and stupid. Keep it simple. Robert.
Maybe we'll just name the podcast after the world.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
and it doesn't have to be like a legit name. We could make it kind of a not very serious name. Whoa.
Earth.
Earf.
Earth. Earth 2077.
No.
Don't mind that direction though. We could do something along those lines.
Yeah.
Earf.jpg? I don't know.
I love it.
Is that the name of our podcast? Earf.jpg?
That's
Sure.
actually a really cool name.
Earf.jpg world building or something like that after
No,
a colon.
just Earth.jpg.
Yeah, and
What it's about.
the other thing can be a
When they start.
subtitle.
Yeah. And yeah, world building and stuff would be in the tags and all that. And you know, they'll figure it out. If nothing else, they'll try it just to figure out what the fuck Earth.jpg means.
Fuck.
It's because you're inaccurate. Yeah, I like the name. And I think I like the hub world. The only thing I'm disappointed in about the hub world is we don't get any cross-traveling and interesting stuff going on between it and any of our other worlds.
I mean, we could have some. No, that's what the music is for. The music indicates the fun traveling warp.
unless we come back to the hub world later with characters from our other worlds, like
yeah.
That's just describing
like
each
Vocaloid style. We have like, you know, like
Oh,
they put on
Vocaloids.
shows and stuff like that with
Yeah,
holograms and stuff. That would be
Yeah, we can have like reoccurring player characters in these different
Yeah.
worlds. They're just trying to find the best game world. Whoa.
yeah. I like the idea that VR has become so popular in this world that you know, like Vocaloids and all that are like the most popular thing, and people don't even like people anymore.
Yeah, real celebrities died out like they should have many years ago.
It's like today, except in reverse, where if you find out someone's a bot, you're like, oh no, but it's actually not. You get really disappointed when you discover that someone's actually not a bot.
Right. Yeah, it's sort of like a reverse Fallout 4 thing, where you're disappointed when people aren't fake versions of themselves. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm shopping for an omnidirectional treadmill, right?
Yeah. You're looking to see if you can find one?
There are several.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like some of them are just like they look like square trampolines. Other look like they have like a disc shape, like inwards disc. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Downward dome.
Concave or convex?
Yeah, concave.
I imagine that would be the best shape for it. Considering the way human legs move. Well, and just the way that I'm imagining, like, the way these work is like treadmill fabric and or wheels or it just has to have a detector on the ground to determine which direction your feet are moving. Yeah. And then a rotational belt to hold you upright. Sorry. And let you spin around on the detection pad without actually, pushing yourself forwards. Oh, okay. Well, no, I was saying, like, I imagine the way they go in any direction is they've got like balls between the padding and the actual like machinery or whatever. No, I imagine it's if you know what I mean, between what you walk on and what's under that. Our world, the way our treadmills would work would be that the treadmills would have a detection layer and a very pliable upper layer, and the people would be strapped in upright. Oh, hey.
You can add that in post.
Looking at a picture of... Well, we might attach this picture to the thing later. That's very small. We won't.
Yeah, it's like supposed to be a personal thing.
You can look at it in a minute. Yeah, but we can describe the picture for the viewers. That's fine. It's a round plate on the bottom with kind of a concave dip in the middle and a waistband holder.
It looks
so it kind of straps to your waist. And it's just a real slippy dick. It's just like a real slippy
satellite
dick. So basically, it turns you into the thumb piece for a fidget spinner. Well, no, but like I'm just imagining the way it would keep you in place. Like, would the fabric on it or whatever that you run on be able to? You wouldn't be able to, roll in any direction, or would it just be like a slippy dick situation where you can't get any traction? Yeah, you wouldn't get any traction. And it just detects which direction your feet are moving. Yeah, and you get just enough traction when moving side to side. Like it's got like one of those fabrics that only slides in one direction or some shit. Yeah. Or no, maybe your shoes are that way. The shoes would have to be that way because of the fabric. But I just imagine that way you could rotate. It's a slick surface and you're basically wearing socks, but like the least friction-y socks that you can find. Like those knitted socks. Fuck. Mythbusters got, whatever they did, them knock your socks off, man. Sure, I don't...
I know what he's talking about, but whatever.
Someone sent them to them. Yeah. Cute. Yep, I have hiccups. So, this has been an interesting discussion. What kind of people? Well, no, we've already discussed that. They're just normal people. Or maybe like some weird alien that's unimaginable. People afford to stay in their homes all the time like this? They don't. No.
Minimal sustenance devices.
Did the rich pay for it all so that they could have time just to stay home and enjoy their things? Everyone eats that food supplement. I don't remember what it's called. But essentially, you mix it with water and you can eat it for 3 meals a day and still live. And it just tastes like nothing, and it's terrible. So the rich people paid for everyone to get a lifetime supply of military rations, basically. No,
I know what you're talking about. I think there's
an automated industry creating this stuff, and it's just being, I don't know. So there's going
Uh-huh.
to
Maybe everyone has a catheter at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean,
the VR has
everyone has an IV drip at home, and just there's an automated process for getting all the things humans need to live and putting them in those. So you can live in your machine.
So this is the last generation of people on this planet we're talking about here.
Essentially.
Soylent.
Whose idea was it? Was it a poor person's idea to start this shit?
No.
The meal
Shut up,
replacement is called Soylent.
Because Soylent. Let's have a moment of silence for those who can't speak.
Oh man, this is turning into a karaoke podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh god, they make those? There's a
I just made it up. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's good.
Come on.
Okay, let's talk about another thing that we're doing with this podcast. We're gonna do some viewer input stuff. So if you've got any good suggestions for just,
World, give us some world seeds, like Minecraft stuff.
well,
Just give us a thing and we'll make a
Yeah.
world around it.
give us a word, an idea, a part of the world that you think would be interesting, anything. Just in the comments
A
or
character name. That would be fun. Race
or
name.
even just like a character name, or something like that. Just any ideas. Something sounds funny or whatever, and we'll try to incorporate it into our world if we like it, and make it our own. Do some fun stuff with it.
It's always easier when someone else starts the work.
Yeah, it's always easier and a lot of times more fun when you don't have to think of it all from scratch.
And maybe one of these days I'll pull out my art shit and we'll draw some of this stuff.
I think Zach was talking about drawing some of it for like
YouTube image.
yeah, just something to put on my videos when I upload them to YouTube, because I'm gonna upload at least some of them to YouTube. That way we can get people to listen.
I might throw some sketches in there.
Yep.
Yeah, we
we'll
could
see.
make it a slideshow.
If I have time.
What?
We can make it a slideshow.
Yeah, well, that's probably what was gonna happen if you gave me more than one picture for the
Yeah.
YouTube video. Just make it a slideshow and have them in there. But yeah, if all goes well and this gets more popular, I'll tell people to follow me on Twitter or Devin and Zach, and we'll pull ideas from there. And that'll be a thing to talk about while we're doing this.
Make a Twitter account.
Well, you don't have to now. If this gets more than
I know, I'm just being a smart ass.
if this gets more views than there are people on my channel when I upload it to iTunes, then you can make a Twitter account. I don't see that happening anytime soon, though.
Well,
I doubt even all the people subscribed to me will listen to this on iTunes or whatever.
number of them that have iPhones? Maybe. Number of them that have iPhones.
Also, those of you
I'm
on
gonna upload it to
iTunes,
SoundCloud too.
That's where you're gonna have a hard time getting people to listen.
What, SoundCloud?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna upload it a couple places.
also those of you listening on iTunes, feel free to leave a comment or a review or whatever they call it.
And click on that subscribe button or whatever it is. I don't remember what it is on iTunes, but there's definitely a thing that doesn't cost you anything. You can just be like, oh, I liked this. And yeah, it gets us more
You can tell we haven't used an iPhone in
A
three.
while.
Yeah.
But it helps. I know it. I think it's like YouTube's thing with likes, where it just gets
It gets put
the
more
system. The system shows it to more people.
For each like, we get one. We get put on one more person's page.
I don't think that's
That's not how
necessarily
that
how
works.
it works.
But if
But
you want
yeah,
to make it monetary, yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
And yeah, if you want, we can even read the fun reviews out loud on the podcast.
And
Whoa.
if you do throw us a little comment that gives us a world idea, we'll definitely mention that when we're doing it.
Well, yeah.
No, we won't.
Because
Give
why would you
credit
not?
give credit where credit's due. We have to mention the name.
Should we? Where we at? Oh,
Yeah, we gotta.
we still got another 7 minutes. Oh shit!
We can.
Shooty ass
I don't know.
We
So,
can make this a short episode, but
any more questions about this in particular, like the hub world?
the hub world. Let's see.
Earf.jpg.
We didn't write any notes before we started.
We should probably do that at some point.
Yeah, that's
although I
kinda what I
doubt
was
we
thinking.
will.
I didn't think
Have
we
a
were going to
crap
do
load
this
of
tonight. So
notebooks.
I didn't either, really.
I'm okay with it though.
So yeah, you can see how organized we are. Last minute, we decided to just, we'll do a
Oh
podcast.
fuck it, we'll do a podcast.
I've been wanting to do something like this for a while.
And the way things go sometimes, it might not have happened in the first place if we didn't do it last minute.
Yep, that's, you know how it works. Anything about the hub world we didn't decide?
Uh,
How much water's on the world? Is it like the Earth, where it's like
I think that's
70%?
why they went into the thing.
okay,
'cause,
so
like,
the ice
water was
caps have
very
melted, and everything is on floating islands and barges.
Oh,
Okay.
Whoa.
I liked my idea where it wasn't. It was because of the lack of water that the rich decided to do this, so that they could like disperse the water evenly without people getting pissed about it.
Well,
So there
the
were no
entire world
arguments.
being water would still be a problem with water because it would all be salt water. So
True.
filtering it would have to be a pretty moderate process.
Yeah. And since everyone lives on small islands or like barges, it would be difficult to set fires and stuff to, do that sort of
Damage.
filtering.
Also,
You would have to actually make filters.
speaking of islands, each island could totally just be a server.
Yeah, that
Well,
might work.
I think there might be dedicated server islands, some dedicated WAM islands.
Mm.
Dedicated web, really referencing another YouTuber.
That's not a YouTuber.
That's
Yeah, it
not
is.
no.
No, it's from
That's from a
that's
video.
Minecon.
Yeah, that was from Minecon years ago. This kid was talking about downloading some dedicated WAM on camera, and it got uploaded
Like,
to YouTube.
how
by
much
millions of
dedicated
people.
WAM to a server do you need,
Oh,
or something
Yeah.
like that? So yeah, mostly solar panels, mostly solar powered, obviously.
what kind
Yeah.
of sun does it have?
Although it could be water powered. I don't know. I don't think that would work that well because that requires moving water, and if it's
That would be
mostly
an interesting idea. Is that
and if it's entirely oceans, there wouldn't be a lot of moving water in the way that you would for water power.
Yeah,
would be like a
maybe there has been a new type of solar thing invented where it's a cloth mesh that floats on top of water and absorbs the sun.
I'm sure that could be done.
Yeah,
I was thinking an even better idea was that it could totally be a undersea current electrogeneration.
yeah, we can have some of that also.
Yeah,
But basically giant wind turbines under the ocean.
yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? And if it's not, then it could be. As long as they found some steady currents, they would work pretty well.
But they don't have to stay in place. They could totally just be
Drifting.
Yeah.
Well, if they drift, then the turbines don't
Yeah, it would just
turn
be
as
caught
well
up in
because it just kind of pushes it with
drafts
the
or whatever.
current.
Because like
Currents.
they have to make those wind turbines not be able to spin as fast as they could because the wind's
Yeah,
too
because it
powerful
would tear
sometimes.
them up.
They could totally just make it so they can pivot to match which direction the current is going, and they just float around.
Yeah.
Because they don't have full resistance of a flat object being pushed upon by the water, and instead having water only pressing on the blades and the rounded underside. So there's not a whole lot of resistance this thing has. So it can generate electricity and be moved by the current.
So this thing can be like a
And
new thing.
with there being so
but not
much ocean,
everyone.
there wouldn't be huge areas where they could get trapped. And if so, I'm sure they would have a GPS sort of system that would get them untrapped.
Yeah.
And then there's also solar power. It's pretty reliable and fun
On
and doesn't
top
move
of
around
the
randomly.
floating ocean things.
Yeah. I like the idea of the floating mesh type solar panels.
How would they get the power back to land?
Yeah,
Cables.
it'll be
Just
yeah,
cables.
cables.
Well, I mean,
They're attached to the barges. They're
there's
not
not
just floating
really-
there.
yeah, there's not really another way to transport electricity besides cables.
Whoa.
Because, you know,
Would they just be giant batteries that get refueled, and then the turbines turn into the electricity gathering turbines underwater turn into propulsion that push them back to land and plug them in and swap out?
that would be
Really
That's an-
cool.
interesting way to put it. I could see that though, like the solar panels and or those turbines were just being attached to barges that, you know, floated offshore near wherever people needed the power. You know, wherever they built them at.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. Generally near some city or something, and they just charge huge batteries, and whenever they're full, these barges connected to the batteries and the solar panels or turbines or whatever just autopilot back to civilization, drop off the batteries, pick up some more that are dead, and head back out.
The barges themselves could be the batteries, and they just change which barge they're on.
Yeah, the dock back in, pull in the mesh.
Yeah.
So with all this aquatic stuff happening, has man itself evolved to accommodate at all?
Probably not.
You don't think so?
No, I think our accommodation. I think this is after the polar ice caps flooded
It could. Well,
on this planet, not us.
I was saying that makes it more of like a post-apocalyptic Earth.
This
than
planet,
Earth.
this planet had an even bigger polar ice cap. Like the South Pole and the North Pole were like Mars-size ice caps.
I'm
And
pretty
they
sure
just straight
Mars
up
is about the
melted because
size
they
of
were
Earth
stupid.
anyways.
No, Mars is a little smaller, but
Just like the slice bit.
yeah, not enough that you could have two of it on Earth.
No. Like the ice caps on Mars are way bigger than on Earth.
Oh, okay, that's
Oh,
what you
yeah.
mean. You mean like the ratio that Mars has instead of the ratio that Earth has.
And
Okay.
They fucked up as bad or worse than we did, and it caused them to melt. So they had to start adjusting by doing these.
Okay, so
large
this is
batteries and shit.
almost already like a post-apocalyptic scenario.
But it's not
Yeah.
like apocalyptic.
Yeah, but it's like-
I think we were going there in the first place.
It's like a thing we survived,
Yeah.
but like we survived it, and then immediately we're like, well, we don't like this, so we're gonna go to our own little space.
Well, I imagine the way that people are with the VR and everything. This is probably like 100 to 200 years after this happened that that the VR stuff happened. This is already 100 to 200 years later after that happened. So like now everyone's comfortable. We're good. Everything's automated pretty much. and what isn't. You know, there are people that
And I feel like
obviously wouldn't be
they
in
got space
VR.
travel down before the whole apocalypse thing happened. So the abundance of
Resources from off planet.
for the batteries came from their moon. This moon is like super, very alkaline metal heavy.
Do we have space, like active space miners, or just foragers from previous
I
stuff?
feel like it might be just leftovers from when there was space
Yeah.
available, but they might have invented automated drones that can leave the atmosphere to collect these metals. Although it does take a very long time to make one of these batteries. So they had to make them last.
Well, maybe they've colonized a few other planets, and that's where this planet's getting their resources.
Yeah.
Considering everything's underwater now, it would be a bitch to mine.
Well, I mean, it would be easier for them to make drones to mine underwater.
Than it would be for space.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if there's other people out in space, you know, obviously there's people mining on this planet, probably.
Did they get that far into space travel, or did they just, like, nail the whole, we made it to the moon thing like we have?
Oh, we haven't nailed it. We've only done it like once. Or was
And
it twice?
supposedly none at all. We've only done it once.
I thought it was just the once.
Yeah. And supposedly not even that many.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you are.
We're not one of those.
I don't know, Zach might be.
I know someone
No,
who
I'm kidding.
can put up a fun
Who
argument.
is?
Seriously don't believe that we got
Yeah.
the moon, we're fine, but just like...
I think they probably are just like moon travelers. They like the moon. They go to the moon to pick up their alkaline metals,
Is this a very big planet?
and they have drones that mine things from under the sea.
I think it's about Earf.jpg sized.
Yeah,
So it's fairly small file size.
right. It's a fairly small file size. It's like between our size.
Between us and Venus.
No, between the size of us and Mars. Okay.
So it's a little smaller. So the moon is
smaller.
Yeah, just
comparably bigger than ours.
in comparison to them, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We need to be careful about tides though, because if we go too crazy with the moon,
What?
tides will not be
True.
handleable.
The moon is not humongous. Okay.
I feel like
promise.
they didn't have problems with
Or it could
tides
just be far enough away that it
so much
doesn't
shit out of the moon
affect
that
as
didn't have the
much.
gravity anymore.
Yeah. Plus, there's a lot of water now. But yeah, the moon's not fucking huge or anything, but it's got a slightly bigger ratio than ours does to us. But you know, the thing with that is like it's not the ratio that matters to how much water it pulls up. It's the amount of water, and compared to the size of the moon, not necessarily the size of the planet compared to the size of the moon.
Well, it's the gravity, so it would be how big it is and also how close it is.
Yeah.
So it could be even bigger than our moon and be farther away
Yeah.
and be good.
Yeah. So it's
Kind of.
it's a little bigger comparatively to our moon,
It's
but
kind of
it's a
on
little
the same.
further away.
Yeah, that could work.
Don't let go.
I was hoping you would catch that.
Besides, let's hold on loosely, but don't let go.
I know, but it was still a reference, so get over it.
Okay.
We've done a few. So yeah. So
Okay.
we've got this hub world
We've got this
where
whole world.
everyone on it has their own little
Has their own little
omnidirectional
world.
pod that puts them in their own personal world. They didn't design it, but it's theirs.
Yeah. Vocaloids are really popular.
Not that anybody realizes it because none of them know each other.
Well, I mean, anyone that comes out, which they have to do every once in a while at least. You know,
Gotta swap batteries.
it's not like they live there all day, every day. They come out.
They live there in their dreams instead of when they're awake. Oh, come on.
Oh, please don't make this. I guess you could sort of compare it like that. I'm sure there would be people who felt that
So,
way.
like, they're there, like, say, 65% of the day asleep. And then they wake up, and then they take care of their part of the maintenance of it. I know we've changed this now since the
Okay,
beginning.
so with their jacking in, does it have to do with biomodifications? Whoa,
No, they just...
Probably a little
because
bit.
It's
I'm
a
into
plug and play.
biomodifications.
I would say there probably has to be a little bit of biomodifications for
Just like a
Bionics.
Master Chief style chip in the back of the neck.
yeah, that sort of thing.
I was thinking like
Although that's a lot.
the Matrix
had.
huge cable and tube that goes into the back of your neck. But
No.
nah, that would be too much.
I would say it's a smaller port than that.
Yeah.
It's part of what holds you into the VR
Okay,
experience.
I like our hub world, and we've got a long enough episode. I think it's time to end this episode. Do we have a call out for the end of the episodes or anything, or are we just gonna say bye?
Oh god, JPEG!
Well, we
bitch!
could finally
No.
introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah. Who wants to start?
This has been
Oh,
Zach Snap.
and Vexsten.
And Flame.
Peace out, kids.
Kids.
Whoa.
That's how I handle my videos, bro. That's how I start all my videos, actually. It's like, yo, what's up, kids? And
Peace
that's
out,
how I do it.
kids.
You should totally finish it off though with being on kids.
Maybe.
Just like cut it off weirdly at the end of a word. I love it when